So we're just gonna do like a. I'm just gonna go through it once and go through the mistakes. Actually, I'll just go through it and I'm gonna pull up like certain areas of the map that I can also like show you what's good and what's not good. So,
Alright.
first let me just show you my rank. So I have some clarity here, so it
Yeah.
doesn't look like I'm talking to like I'm like a gold talking to you.
Yeah.
But 4336 right now, and yeah, just so yeah. Okay. So let's just start.
Oh,
I guess.
damn.
Alright.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And select DPS. Interesting.
3 DPS, I like it.
Hmm.
Easy.
Hello, team.
Hey, what's up, come on, Doom Chat. Hey, what's up, guys? Downtown. Does anyone want to go fire to come with a mercy? No, I guess not.
Imagination is the essence of discovery.
Okay, we don't have the best heals. Oh,
Nope.
okay. I mean, yeah.
Now we have even less heals. Whatever.
Whatever.
Okay.
If
Play to improve
this
XP.
dude switched to
So how's your comp looking like? So yeah, this is a fine comp. Like Mercy's okay right now because she just got the buff where she can get her ult faster, and she gets it like she'll get it probably before every other support ult, and she could probably res, but that's not in your control. So with Mercy, especially if the enemy team has an Ana, right away you're gonna have to think I'm gonna have to play more passive here and just build your ult. Because
Okay.
if the enemy, especially if the enemy team has an Ana, they're just gonna melt you way faster than your Mercy can heal. So playing around corners or something like that
no, I guess
is
not.
better overall.
Okay.
Imagination is the essence of discovery.
Let's
Okay,
just go fast. All right.
take your time.
Right side, right side, right side.
What are your DPS? You have a
Me.
Doomfist Tracer on this point, right?
Yeah.
I guess that's fine,
There we go.
especially if the enemy team
Wait,
has a
Ana.
Widow. But
They have died,
you kind of just gave them the high ground here.
Oh,
Right now, you
unlucky.
Ah, come on.
yeah, you kind of split off from your. I guess your Pharah went alone main, and they just focused her because she knew she was alone. So either sometimes you just gotta look back and see where your team is, and if even if you call right and you see like Pharah going main, you have to turn around and help her. Especially like that's you gotta like babysit the team sometimes because you have like no control over your team.
So how would I help her? Just by.
Just by existing in her area
Okay.
because usually they'll focus you since you're like the biggest target.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm
Follow
dying
me.
on Zen, 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 Zen.
It's good job picking up your Mercy though and bubbling her out.
I'm with you.
Um,
On Zen.
there, it's so it's kind of hard to say what you should do. Let me pull up an image of first this point. Okay, let me save this image real fast. Okay, so if you're uh okay, let's say your Mercy is this square, right? Or the circle, and you're the square. Uh, wait, I can't do that now. That's stupid. Um, let's just say you're here, right? And your
Yeah.
Mercy flies over to you this way,
Mhm.
and their monkey is here, and he jumped over following her, right?
Yeah.
So either you gotta help peel for your Mercy, like okay, so this is your and your Diva's problem because here in the video, let's go back a little bit. Oh shit, that's too far.
No, I'm
Follow
dying
me.
on 12.
See, your Mercy's already half HP, and the monkey is gonna chase.
Gosh, that's
So
annoying.
when she flies over to you, you probably need to come back and heal for her because the Genji is here and the Winston's here. Both of them are like pushing and chasing your Mercy who's already like around half HP.
Okay. I'm with you.
So yeah, sometimes you do have to jump the supports, but Here, especially with their comp, peeling back for your Mercy and keeping her alive and getting ult charge off the Winston is probably like the number one thing you could do.
110.
Even you
That
got the
dead.
kill.
Oh, man.
Your oh wait, your Mercy lived. Okay, never mind. I guess their Winston's not that good. That's good though. You got the kill.
I'm up here.
That's good. You got your Mercy out. That's good. I don't know why their monkey didn't chase
I'm getting
the
out.
Mercy. Yeah. That's fine. You got the kill. That's fine. So even when you're here, see, actually,
with
hold,
you. Oh man,
you get out and your Mercy comes to you. You're around 100
I'm up here.
HP. Your team's already in the fight, so you didn't really need a bubble there because they weren't chasing the Mercy.
Mhm.
You could have just dropped down and gone ult charge off of the drop down and bubbled, and then just poked at them without doing anything because you fall back here and you're not really building any ult charge.
Fuck.
You're just
Lost. I'm getting out.
like it's lost, but your team's still in, and you could like you're still good around HP wise, and you have jump, so you can just drop down and poke out and then jump out.
Okay.
Because the main thing with Winston that I've learned is just getting ult charge. Because once you have your ult, you like you can just go in and get like 2 or 3 kills if you can. That's like the priority number one is just not dying and getting your ult.
Okay.
Wait. One wall. I'm on Genji. Genji.
It's good focus on the Genji though. He's out of position. You should have chased that kill
Oh my god.
Should I do a recall?
because he was low and he had no dash. That's a good job body blocking for your Mercy though. I didn't know she died. Yeah, okay. So yeah, there's nothing. Your fair is kind of feeding right now, so it's kind of hard. But yeah, just especially in team fights, like what I've learned to like help improve is just focus on surviving.
Okay.
It's just it's hard to understand, but especially if the enemy team has like a Brigitte or something, just trying to live is the best thing you can do as a main tank and get your ult. Because if you never, especially you never want to, let's see, let's go back to you. Let's say you're here and the whole enemy's team is here, right? You never
Mhm.
want to fully jump into them without your ult. You never want to
Yeah.
hard dive unless you have your ult. So usually, like, so let's say the Winston and D.Va are right here. You just want to walk up and poke at them and drop your bubble and then jump out.
Yeah.
And then you build like 30 or 40% ult, and then you just keep on doing that over and over again until you get your ult, and then you can just hard dive their backline.
Yeah.
And by doing this like back and forth, you can also catch out the people who are trying to like flank on your supports as well. And by doing this, you're actually creating a little bit of space for your DPS to get kills on their backline. So
Mm.
let's say eh, let's say the whole team's here and your Pharah gets a pick on their Zenyatta or Ana. That's when you full commit on their tanks or on their backline. Is when they're down one as well.
Okay.
Uh,
The breach.
she wasted pulse bomb there. If you live here, then that's big. Then you can just walk back in.
Tracer behind us.
Here, you just need to live. You shouldn't.
One.
Oh, he maybe could.
Messed
You
up.
fucked up that jump though.
Yeah.
That's
Tracer's
unlucky.
literally one behind us.
You hit the tree there.
Yeah.
Um, but there, let's see, let's go back. Your team's kind of split and your beginning needs to be towards you. But you,
Tracer behind
honestly, here, could you either go back into your team or you go into spawn, get healing, and then walk out. Because hunting that tracer, there's a chance that you die. And then your Mercy could also die. It's just,
One.
that's also unlucky that you missed that jump. Yeah, that's unlucky there.
Tracer's literally one behind us.
No one's with it.
Fuck.
Well, you get res
Not
though.
bad.
No, your team's already on point too. Yeah, you guys are gonna 100% lose this fight because you're already down two.
It's already done. We gotta regroup again.
Falling back.
Miracle of
Yeah.
science.
There's no way we're winning that.
Okay, you gotta dive the Zen first.
What the fuck?
Like your guy is saying you gotta dive the Zen, like usually you would, especially in a team fight, but it's just no one's pilling for your tracer, and you need to be like you guys, the tracers in our back line, especially your Brigitte. You need to tell your Brigitte to like come back and help with the tracer.
Okay.
because that's her role, and you're
Yeah.
just trying to frontline for her, for your
Yeah.
team.
This will protect us.
I'm not.
Fuck their Genji.
D.Va.
Come on, Genji.
Yeah, just
You
see
dead?
poking on this front line is usually how you want to take these fights. And see they're down 2 right now, so this is when you full commit and you have your ult. So you can really full commit on their backline. Their Zen or their Ana, and just that's okay. And especially with Ana's, yeah, let me pull this up. Especially with Ana's, you want to bait out their abilities, right?
Yeah.
Can you see this? Wait, have you not been looking at my screen the entire time? Oh
No,
yeah.
I have.
Why is it kicking over there? Oh. Play show Overwatch, you asshole. Change windows? Uh, it's weird. Okay. Guess I can't show this. No, stream Overwatch. What? Stream Overwatch? It's not working. Okay. Okay, I guess it doesn't matter. I'll just show it differently then. Um, so just especially keep tabs on the Ana, because if you're gonna dive the Ana, you're gonna have to just so if she uses sleep, first of all, if she uses sleep, that's when you full commit. Whenever you see her use sleep, so let's say she's here, she uses sleep, you call it out or one of your teammates call it out, you can legit full diver, and the only thing she has to stop you is the nade.
Mhm.
So, especially when you're jumping on her here, put your bubble right, like, when you're in the air, like right here, okay?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, just try bait down the sleep. That's what priority
You
number
guys
one.
leaving?
Yeah.
But yeah, your
Tracer
team
behind
wins
us. He's
this.
bothering our
Tracer
right.
behind us, you guys. The Brigida is dead, so that sucks.
Oh fuck, dude.
Damn. And they have a
Jumping on
Widow.
Zen.
Yeah, if you get this Zen, that's big.
Zen dead.
That's a good kill. And you're using melee is good. You can get this Ana here. Yeah, there you go.
Unfortunate.
Just try to live here. Try to get that Tracer. Try to get the monkey. You have your ult, so you can just go full in. You're the only one that can probably deal with their Genji right now. Yeah.
On D.Va, on D.Va, D.Va. D.Va, D.Va.
Alright.
Alright, stick with.
That was a good fight from you.
That's
Pardon
good.
me.
I'm going back for a mercy. Play defensively. Play
I'm not sure if they usually as main tank, you just need to check their enemy comp like constantly. So after every team fight, just hold tab for a little bit and just see what their comp is. Just look at their team and see what ults they used and see what ults are coming up.
Okay.
Just be like, okay, they haven't used I don't know, like monkey ult. They're gonna have monkey ult this fight. So tell your team that and just be
Yeah.
ready because if he full dives in, they're gonna monkey ult right away. So you
Yeah.
can counterplay from that.
Alright.
We're just taking damage here.
Yeah, I was staying behind the box. It's weird. Genji's up there.
And playing on point's not that good right now. You need to be on the high ground, and because that you'll give them high ground advantage right away, and that's just not good because let's go back to this screen. If you're on the point, right?
Mhm.
Say you're on the point, they have this whole area, like their whole team can come here. Their Doomfist has the high ground, like they have a Doomfist, right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, their Doomfist has the high ground. So what he's so broken on the high ground because he can just E, shift, and punch it away
Yeah.
constantly. So if you take that high ground away from him, then he will have like so much less room to like counter your team. Especially as like main tank, your goal is to protect the team, give them space, and then stop their DPS from fragging out. So if you're sitting on point here as a whole team, you're giving them the whole high ground to just shoot at your whole team and your supports. And your supports are in this area, so
Mhm.
they're kind of like sectioned off. Let's say they're monkey bubbles and it pushes your supports away. That means you're either gonna have to fall back with your team and give up point, or you're gonna have to push in and split off from your team and either die. So playing like either I see some teams playing here on this map. I see some teams playing here, here, and then I usually just sit like right here, just in case they
Yeah.
have a Widow or a Genji, and then you just poke on them, and then you can jump away back to your team.
Okay.
One's
So
above,
coming
one's
up
on
here
the
is
floor,
fine, but your
bomb.
team's already down here on point.
Nice,
Perfect. Winston left side. Genji left side.
Teamwork.
That's a good pick on their Ana though,
I'm gonna try and jump on their Zen.
from their Genji, from your Genji. Oh no.
Barrier
Okay, and then another thing that, so let's say a Tracer triple, like, the moment you see a Tracer triple or double blink, you know pulse bomb's coming, so you can call it out and your team can split up.
Okay.
So, the and Tracers do this thing. So let's say you're right here, you know when they have pulse bomb is when they they stand here and they won't stare at you. I mean, they won't shoot at you, they'll just stare, right?
Yeah.
And you could tell they're looking for a pulse bomb because they're not even shooting. They're kind of like dancing back and forth, and then they'll double blink in and go for it. So if you say Tracer's going for pulse bomb, your team will start to split up all over. So
Yeah.
she can't get multiple people if she sticks anyone.
Yeah.
Jumping on Genji.
So let me see if I can demonstrate that.
teamwork.
I'm gonna try and jump on their Zen.
See, okay, you see like right,
Genji left side.
Teamwork.
yeah, you see the Tracer's like
Yeah.
kind of poking,
I'm gonna try and
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
she's just staring at you right now. She's not doing anything. She's just
Jump
looking
up
for a
their
pulse
Zen.
bomb. She's gonna triple blink in right now and jump out.
I'm jumping on Genji.
That's a good. Yeah, the Genji fucked up there, bad. So yeah, that was a good kill. But playing on point here is still just not good because if the enemy team had a like, were actually smart and sat up there, they could just abuse the fuck out of
No
your team.
recall?
But yeah, and the best thing to do as Winston to get your ult is just the Winston and D.Va are always going to be together, pretty much, in team fights, like beginning of team fights. Just poking on both of them and like cleave damage is when you hit multiple targets. If you
Yeah.
just if you just hold your mouse one on these two, you can just get so much ult charge.
Yeah.
And then you can push these guys here.
I'm jumping on Ana.
Yeah, Ana's misplaying here. If you get that, your team needs to get that kill.
Oh, I need healed.
Yeah.
Thank you. Tracer on our back line.
This is actually a really good bubble discipline too. You don't need to use your bubble like every fight. I mean every time it drops. Only use it when your team needs it or you need to like protect yourself, right?
Yeah.
So just like this is really good because you still have your bubble and you're like not that far down.
Tracer's still
So
on our back line.
yeah. Now you can protect your
Tracer's
team with
super
it
low.
and your team can dance around it even though your Mercy
Tracer's
died.
in our back
Your
line
Mercy
still.
should use that bubble.
I'm on Winston.
Yeah, just
Nice, nice, nice. On Winston, on Winston, on Winston.
and especially your positioning of how you aim your Tesla cannon, right? So let's back here. You're only poking the monkey. If you just move yourself like a couple steps to the left and aim towards the brigade as well, you'll get like 90% of your ult charge because they'll be poking the monkey and the brigade
Yeah.
Nice, nice,
and the diva actually. Yeah, kind of like this where they're all together and you could just if you move forward a little bit, you can just poke them all and you'll get your ult super
on Winston,
fast.
on Winston, on Winston.
I can't block.
Dio, Dio on point.
I'm diving on Ana.
Yeah. That's a good call because your team's already dealing with the diva and you have rally, but calling the Ana when she's alone and just walking to point is a good call because she's just in the
Nice,
open. Yeah.
Dio, Dio, Dio.
Now you just chase this diva down.
I'm gonna just charge over her.
Okay, where Dio go? Oh, okay. There's a Tracer behind me.
Tracer use recall too. That's a really big call. If you say it, if you say Tracer use recall and she outpositions, you can just instantly kill her as monkey too. With Tracer, do you know how you like? Do you know how to like right before you land with a shift, you melee, right?
Yeah.
So if you do that on a Tracer that's already used recall, you like shift. I mean, you shift, right? And then you land like the jump. That's
Yeah.
70 damage on a. That's you've taken away half her HP. If you Tesla cannon for like a second, that's 130 damage, and then with a punch, she's already dead in 1 second.
Yeah.
So you can abuse Tracers. Like the moment you see recall and Tracer's still in your backline, you just do that combo, and she'll be deleted. But here, yeah, you just need a pill for your monkey. Yep, that's good. And see, this is where the positioning of your team is actually just hurting your team a lot. because since they're on the bottom, the monkey just came in, ulted, and splitted your team up, and they're just gonna walk in and use ults. Yeah, and you're all together on point. You're not spread out. You're not like, especially with Mercy, you can play more spread and just she can fly around back and forth and avoid people. But you're
Mm.
all on point and you're giving them the high ground and it's just giving them
Any
so
ult?
much of even if they're not using it, they just came in with an ult advantage, especially with Genji Blade and stuff like that,
No, come on.
and just
No, dude,
obliterated
I
your
fucking
team.
hate that. I'm so close to fucking bomb.
But it's kind of hard with the Brigitte too. Yeah,
No,
there's
unlucky.
nothing else. Um, yeah, that's the round. So yeah,
There's
just think
fucking
about
the
where your
blade.
team is
Dude, I still
positioning,
got
and
a
if
fat.
you need to like sitting on point is just never good unless you have goats or something, right?
Yeah.
So sitting here behind this pillar and like your supports are back here or back here is just better than sitting all of you on point and your supports are back here because the monkey can come in, ult, split you guys up, and then either you commit on their supports, try to get kills, or you peel and you're all pushed off point.
Okay.
Be vault there.
All right, do you have any questions about the first map?
Um. see. No, not really.
No? Okay. So let me just make this bigger and just give you actually yeah, it's disgusting. Let's do this. So first map, let's just say I'm gonna just do this is just general rules for like how you want to play main tank. So goals for main tank. All right. So
Mhm.
goal one is to survive. And this could be with any role, but especially for main tank. You're so valuable just to mitigate damage to your backline and your team. If you live, it's going to be so hard for the enemy team to kill the rest of your team because they have to go through you, right?
Yeah.
Goal two would be ult. Build your ult up fast. If you have your ult, just even if you don't touch a support for until you get your ult, if you're farming ult faster than their monkey has ult, you can you can initiate a full dive and survive longer and like separate their team and like get a kill or two with your ult, right? And three is just positioning. So this is just learned kind of through time, but you need to like understand just how certain areas like low ground here with your comp is just not good because you had a Doomfist Tracer, right?
Mhm.
Like your Doomfist could sit here, he could sit here or here or here or here, here. He could sit anywhere on the high ground, but if you're on the low ground too, your Doomfist is worthless because all he has is punch, right?
Yeah.
And it's like it's okay, but it's not the best thing. The E shift punch out is probably the best combo for your Doomfist, right? He can
Yeah.
get in, get out, and then he can go again like 6 seconds. So if you're on the low ground, he can't do that. All he has is punch, shift, E out, which is not as good because first off, it's easily readable because he charges it up, and sorry. Second, the enemy team could just move out of the way of the punch sometimes because sometimes it's easy. So yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. Even okay, and just one more thing. If you're poking the front line, just or you're in their team, don't always hunt for kills. Your job isn't to go for kills. Your job is to survive and distract them. So if you're, let's say they're Anna's here and she's 10 or let's say she's 100 HP, and they're all the team is focusing on you, right?
Mhm.
You going for this Anna and getting this trade kill sometimes won't be worth it because either you will die in trader, which will sometimes be worth it, but most of the time it won't, or you die and the Anna lives and they all live and then they all go for the team. So it would be a 5v6. So that's why having your ult also is really good because you can get all this focus fire on you, and when you're like 200 HP, you ult and go for this Ana. and then either they'll all focus on you, and then your DPS and your diva will have enough time to look at you, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do the next map now. Wrong thing.
Sorry, we can win this.
Sorry.
Like the kids say, this is winnable.
26 seconds.
Rhymes.
All right.
Excuse
Yeah.
me for dropping in.
So you've already lost a little bit of time. If you gotta recognize, like, especially at the beginning of this round. Here, let me see what you said, actually. If your team wanted Ryan, they need to see it, and then you just need to ask, do you guys want me to Ryan here? You just need it, because you coming back and switching, you've just lost so much time already, and they're already creating situational advantage. Let's see. Shit. Where is this map? Uh, I guess this one will work. File, new, save. So if you're changing heroes, right? Your team, well, their team's already going to be pushed up here, or they're going to be pushed up here, and they're going to get all this space, and you're going to be in a choke like scenario, right? They're
Yeah.
going to be, so they'll have multiple angles on you compared to your one angle that has to get multiple angles.
Yeah.
So they'll just surround you and kill you pretty much.
Excuse
So
me
yeah, this
for
is kind of
dropping
fucked here, but maybe you can catch up. See, yeah, see the Tracer's already up here. Their Diva's already pushed up. They just have like a lot more room than you already. That was a good kill by your Doomfist. So you just swing,
Oh, I got
and a good thing to do to just mitigate damage and like control the way your opponents are moving is to swing shield, so it blocks damage, but it also just like makes sure you only swing right to left, so it moves them right to left
Yeah.
constantly. See, and you got CC'd off, so this is basically killing you. Like it's what they did was basically the same as killing you because you're out of the way and they just go right through through like empty space to your team.
Winston's low.
Yeah,
Can you Q
that's a
here?
good kill on the Genji.
On point?
You probably, yeah, I wouldn't say worry about point. I say just try getting these kills on these guys, but yeah, you've already lost that point
Oh, I
or
just can't
lost that
do
fight.
anything.
So, how'd you get booped off in the first place?
I think it was the break slap.
Uh, yeah. Oh, was
Break
it?
has no stun.
Okay, so that's such a weird position for Ryan anyway, cause where's the here? If you're fighting here, you're honestly giving them the dive tanks the advantage, right? You want to take this fight to the right, okay?
Hmm. Yeah.
Because the dive tanks, if they're low, they can drop down and then they can jump back up when they're healed. And instead of you, you have to walk all the way back around and
Ah.
like come back. So the moment they
Yeah.
knock you off, is your team is open just for them to jump on you, your entire team. So yeah, it's just, you
Yeah.
just yeah. And if you take it to the right, their dive tanks will not have like that much of an advantage. They have to jump through you, and if they jump through you, two things will happen. They jump into your team, right? And they'll get focused down. And second, this is a big one because I'm pretty sure the enemy team has an Ana. So if they jump past you, if they jump past your shield, their Ana or their Moira can't heal through your shield. So they're going to be melted straight away without any repercussions. So if you position yourself, let's say the Ana's here, right? And you're
Hmm.
here, if they jump your back line, they they can't shoot through your shield. They can't do anything. They have to push. They have to either push through your shield and through you, or you can swing on them, or they have to fucking. They have to fucking. I don't know. They have to boop you out of the way like they did. Even with their Brigida, she can only armor pack them once, and if your team focuses hard enough, they can melt right through that.
Oh, I got
Alright,
pushed to
yeah.
point.
No.
So yeah,
Winston's low.
the Brigida did something good by just getting you out of the fight, and that's how your team lost the that fight is because she just got you out of the fight, and then they just abused the fact that you're knocked off the high ground.
Oh, I just can't do anything.
Especially with their comp too. Let's see what comp they have when you hit tap. So they have Brigida Moira. So they're just running full dive, right? Except with the Brigida, right?
Mhm.
What? So let me just ask you a question. What does your Rhine Shield do right now?
Right now, it would block off the Moira healing.
Moira healing,
Yeah.
and which is short range too, right? So
Yeah.
it can only block off if like they're kind of close, and it can block Genji darts like or Genji blade or whatever they're called. These
Mhm.
Genji fucking
Shurikens.
shurikens, yeah. Diva bullets, which just don't even matter, I guess, and
Yeah.
Tracer, right?
Yeah.
So I either you need to like be more aggressive with your swinging, or need to be aggressive on your swinging, or you need to like the moment. I guess you just gotta be aggressive because their team was just being kind of passive back here, right, right here when you're up here. I think you just need to push in because like you got the tracer, you probably just need to push in hard and maybe even charge. Like if you let's say you're here, right?
Mhm.
Like so your team can follow just be like team, I'm gonna charge, be ready. If you charge towards this pillar, two things happen or two things could happen. The first thing is you could probably get a kill on someone or take down 300 HP, right?
Mhm.
And you're getting the risk of getting knocked off a lot less because either the Brigida has to stun you right here, like counter stun you and get knocked down as well, or you'll either pin her and get kill her against this pillar, right?
Yeah.
Since your shield is not that valuable right now, you need to be using your hammer to do the damage.
Rig has no stun. Oh, I got pushed to point.
Also, if you have crazy fast reaction
Rig has
time
no stun.
right there, you could have probably charged back on.
Yeah.
Oh, I got pushed to point.
But yeah, just being aware of your like how you're playing. I mean, how you,
Winston's low.
like where your position is and what the enemy has compared to what your utility is right now in the certain hero is a big determining factor. Either you should switch or change your play style. Because playing passive against their comp is not really going to do anything.
Alright.
I'm healing.
Break. On point.
Especially with Reinhardt against their comp. If the moment you get shatter, you can legit get two people, like two or three people. Like if you solo shatter the tanks, your team can get first off get a lot of ult charge and focus down the tanks and kill them. So it's a
Mhm.
2 for 1. And also with their comp, going for solo shatters isn't the worst thing in the world. If it's say you get the Brigida or Mora solo shattered, their whole team falls apart when they die.
Alright.
Oh, I just can't do anything. It's like I'm getting juggled or something.
Any heals? Fuck, okay.
So let's see.
Yeah, well, it's just their, I would say it's just your diva and the tracers.
Yeah, just wait for your team. See their tracers pushed up.
General recall?
Oh, that's just unlockers right there. I guess you were trying to block for your yeah. Um, sometimes you just gotta let it go. Just let the mercy die. Because you need to just be like you never want the inside your shield. So it's kind of just unlucky there. But you got the res. They got res. But that that diva bomb is actually really good because now your team is down res and the mercy utility is completely gone. That's a good shatter though. That's big.
Nice. Push him.
Biggest.
That was a good shatter.
Give out a mech.
You just need to.
Nice.
Your team's kind of wasting time.
Cap point now.
Yeah, you need to get on point soon. You need to keep on high ground so you can spam this choke because your team can come up faster. Your team like your Doomfist, like the people who can get up here faster should be up there. You should stay up here and start moving towards this choke so you can just spam it with your shield, especially with their dive comp. Because
Yeah.
their monkey, it's gonna be hard for him to jump into you guys or jump at your supports. It's easier for you to like stuff and just swing your hammer on and get your ult and
Yeah.
then just shatter again. So you shouldn't drop the point here. You should have just gone straight for their choke.
Now they're running. They got Ryan now instead of Winston.
But yeah, they went Ryan too. You've already let their Genji out and their Brigade is out.
Break no stun.
If you went straight for the choke, they would have been spammed too,
401.
but it's fine. I don't think that much damage came out of it. Oh, getting your ult here is big. You just need to swing on this Ryan. Yeah, it's big. They use stun too. You know ult. Yeah, you win that fight. Okay.
Oh, they use more ult.
And they use more ult. That's a big fight for you.
Flank behind us.
Just need to survive here.
There's one point, there's one point.
Okay. That's big res.
They're up there again. I'm Shatter.
You got the tracer, so you could try. Yeah, that's a good counter charge. You just need to. You can solo shatter that Genji. Oh, okay. He was in the air. That's unlucky.
Yeah.
It was a good like good thought, but you just got the timing wrong pretty much. The Ryan just charged in. So especially okay, like this. So this is a great time to charge. So when their Ryan charges, he's gonna go in a straight path, right?
Mhm.
That is exactly you know where he's going, because you see him going towards your Zarya. You could see this way, right?
Yeah.
You need to jump to the side and counter charge right away. See, like you see he's going in a straight path. You have your charge.
I can't get.
You can completely just save your Zarya here by counter charging. Like she can't get like instantly deleted by their Ryan, and you can like dish so much damage on their Ryan. That counter charge could have been way sooner
Dead.
if you could have read it,
On diva, on diva.
but it didn't seem like it had that much effect because your team lost the fight anyway. If you could, you just need a stall point, yeah.
What? What?
I died.
Stall, stall, stall.
I was
stall,
behind the
stall,
pillar.
stall,
Oh.
You lost this fight, so you just need
I was
team needs to
behind the
stall.
pillar. Just keep stalling, just keep stalling.
80% is a good like where you only need one fight to win. So
Around 85%. They have about a trickle.
you need to push it up here. Yeah, you need to keep your team alive and watch out for like a pick. Let's see.
Ryan has Shatter.
It's a good call on the Ryan shattered. I'm not sure if they still have a. That's big. Especially with Brig, if you know they have shatter and you just need to be aware. You need to be like Zarya, save your bubble, especially if they have a Brig and you know they have shatter. Because if your shield's here and the Brig's pushing up, you just need to be like Zarya, watch the Brigida stun, right?
Mhm.
The Brigida is gonna come at you. It's gonna be most of the time it's gonna be telegraphed too. Because you can either even if you don't know if the Rhine has ult, you could tell by what the Brigida is doing if the Rhine has ult and they want a combo. Because the Brigida will start to just play more in the open, coming towards you. So let's say you're right here, right? And the Brigida usually plays back here, and the Rhine's here. But this time, the Rhine's here, and the Brigida is starting to push up like this. Either you need to say, Zarya, do you have bubble? And she says no. You need to start backing up and protecting the stun. Like, when you get used to how far a Brigida's stun is, you can play an exact distance where her stun is short enough where it doesn't even affect you. And then sometimes their Rhine will even shatter because they thought the stun shatter went through. But you just need to keep your shield up and either back up or tell your Zarya to be ready with bubble. But that's if they have a brig. I'm not sure if the enemy team has a brig.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Oh, you got pulse bomb too?
Right push.
Yeah, she was switched then, but that's what you do if they had a brig.
Tracer.
There. Let's see. Um,
Salt.
you
Right
block
push.
Shatter. Let's see. The McCree sounds. It sounds like. I think that's your McCree. Never mind. Oh, you.
Block.
Moira got picked. And here's another tip. Sometimes countercharging isn't the best plan. All right, because
Mhm.
especially if they're up in numbers, if you countercharge, you're on the ground as well. So sometimes just jumping and swinging at him will be even better because he'll charge away from you, like to the right. He'll be on your right side if you jump to the left. So you don't always have to countercharge because you know he's not coming towards your team. So you don't have to countercharge here. And then you can just keep up.
Oh my god.
But yeah,
Up the
your
salt.
team just got
Right push. Right push.
killed anyway because, I don't know, they're just unlucky, I guess. Now they're pushed up in. Okay, their Ryan is actually feeding. You could probably just counter. You could just charge him here.
Get both tank.
Especially, you see him charge. You see, the moment you see him charge right here, you should back up and charge him right as he hits the wall. You would have gotten a free charge right there because he's locked in place for like a clear second, right? After his
Yeah.
charge. The moment he charges like a idiot, you just charge, counter charge him. Like right there. Boom.
Get both tank.
That's a good kill though. And they use trans. You need to get this. Probably just start heading towards point. Charge right there or something. Yeah. Start going towards point. If you get that D.Va mech, that's big.
Pushing.
Then to the right.
If you could save Shatter and win this fight,
Even more.
you can actually win this
I can't
game.
block it.
Unless... Oh, that's not good. You probably need a Shatter here then.
Yep.
Oh, okay, so. So, the moment this is done, and you look to the left, this could have been a good Shatter there.
No.
Oh, that's hard though. Like if you knew where the baby diva landed, you should have shattered her right away. Okay, let's see. I'm not sure if you could see where she evacuated out.
I can't block it.
I'm not sure if you could see. I can't even see where she went, but if you knew she was on the left, if you shatter and then put your shield back up, she'll already be 100 HP and you could just fire strike her to death and get her out of the fight. But that's kind of advanced.
No. I had it.
Winnable.
And here, I'd just say just go ball or something to get there. Unless you get rezzed. Damn. See, and this is the restriction of Ryan, especially with their comp. Because you're basically useless right now as Ryan, sitting on point. Because you can't protect anyone with your shield, and you're just swinging at nothing pretty much.
Fuck, dude.
Yeah, see, they can just outrun you everywhere. You can get that Zen, but they're just...
No, I had
Especially, like, the McCree and Anna, McCree and Tracer, you can block their shots, but if they're all around you, Ryan is just not the best choice there. So, especially if they have high ground control, it's just hard.
why don't you guys?
And you didn't have a Brigida either, so there's no point in like running Ryan Zarya.
Why don't the Mercy switch
Okay.
to Brave or something?
So it's kind of hard to tell, but it just seems like the especially this last fight, even with these picks and they're pushed up in your spawn, just the essence of Ryan, kind of you couldn't really do anything with him
Then to the right.
because you're basically blocking no
Even
damage, right? You
Mhm.
can't do this. The only thing you could have done is just block the Diva Bomb, and that's
I
it.
can't block it.
So you saw her kind of go to the left. Yeah, I don't know.
No.
You-
I had it.
that's why dive is kind of good without if there's no Brigida in the game because they could just overwhelm, especially Ryan Zarya comps. they can just surround the Rhine and use high ground advantage. And it's kind of hard to just do anything.
Winnable.
Mm.
But yeah, you get res here, you just
Zen low.
No, I'm
surround
at
it again.
Plat. Touch.
Yeah, that sucks. Damn.
Why didn't you guys?
That was unlucky too.
Why didn't the
Honestly, like a little bit, if you Zarya had a little bit more time, you could probably grab someone, maybe
Yeah.
gotten a couple kills, but it's
Mercy
alright.
switch to Brave or something? Dude, if the Mercy switched to Brave, we could have won that.
Yeah, like especially with Brig. Brig is kind of broken right now. Especially against Dive. She's just like if you're here, their team was just all around you pretty much. So your
Yeah.
shield was worthless, your hammer was worthless because they are fast enough to just move away. So you should have either like swapped the dive earlier or gone a Brig. But if your team's not going Brig, then you should just go on dive. I think that's
Mm.
the only way you would have won at that
Okay.
point. Unless you Zarya just popped off and threw Grav and got like 5 kills with it, but
Yeah.
that was the only thing. Alright. I think that's 45 minutes for the.
Oh, yeah. So I have like a couple questions actually.
Yeah, okay.
Um, when you're main tanking, how do you deal with Brig and Doom?
How, that, it's like, it depends. Sometimes you gotta, like, especially with Doom, you, you just gotta survive. Like, find a way to survive. Like, whatever you can. Like, especially what I said with Brig, you can predict when she's gonna stun because she starts to become aggressive, right?
Yeah.
So, especially call out her stun, call out when her stun's down. Especially if you call out her stun, your team will immediately just be like focus breaks use stun, and if you focus her down and she's out of the fight because she has no stun, you can well, it will look like a one fight. With Doom, that's kind of hard, but let's see. Do you mean Doom as Ryan? Do you mean dealing with Doom as Ryan or was Winston or was both?
As both.
With Winston, save your jump. All right.
Yeah.
If you know Doomfist is coming in, save your jump because if he uppercuts you, you can jump away. And
Hmm.
with Winston Bubble, you can also dance around. Do you know how to shield dance?
Yeah.
If you shield dance his E, you can mitigate some of the damage you take from him. But he'll uppercut you, and that's when you jump away. So you just gotta save jump as Ryan. You, it's kind of hard, but you need to, you need to be the one taking damage, but you need to survive from it. If you know
Yeah.
what I mean.
Yeah.
So if the Doom is abusing you, but leaving your team alone, and you live, then the Doom has just gained ult charge, and that's it. But if you can live off that and your team can work picks, that's and like honestly, if your team helps you with a bubble or with like a stun on the Doom, that's all you could do. But usually, like I've done times where he's E'd behind me and I just charge him. Like if I'm here and I see him like E on me, like if the Doom's not that good, if he E's behind me, I'll do a 180 and charge at him because he'll
Hmm.
E uppercut me, but I'll be in his directory for a charge.
Hmm.
But that's kind of just how you would deal with like situations with that. Brig is just like just call her stun and focus her down when it's down.
All right. Yeah. My next question is, how do you shot call as main tank?
Um, as main tank,
Yeah.
so there's two types of shotgun, right? There's micro and macro. Usually,
Hmm.
especially when I was on a team, the supports would be doing the macro, like team comps, like strategies. But as main tank, you're gonna be doing the micro calls, which are I'm gonna be jumping this target, or you guys need to kill this target while I take the damage for you. Um, so let's say they're all here. Let's say they're running goats, right? And
Yeah.
you're running like a Rhine Zarya, like double DPS, double support. You're just gonna be like, I'm going to swing on the Rhine. Please focus Rhine with me. But
Alright.
you just need to be like realistic with your calls, and you just need to call targets. So even just be like Rhine, Rhine, Rhine.
Yeah.
That like sometimes like simplistic calls like Rhine, Diva, 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 Diva are just really good. If you just like repeat a character's name, everyone will start focusing on it sometimes.
Yeah.
But it all also depends on your teammates following your calls.
Alright. I think that's it.
All right,
Thank you very much.
no problem. Good luck out there.
Yeah, thank you.
No problem. See ya.
Yep, see ya.